Hello, dear Libras. I'm Michaela. Welcome to my astrology channel, Today Energy. This will be your May astrology forecast for you, Sun, Moon, and of course, a rising sign Libras. So let's dive into the forecast. We start the month on a very positive note. On the 1st of May, your ruling planet, lovely Venus, conjuncts Jupiter, the planet of expansion and of big happiness, at 27th degree of Pisces. Now, this is a reminder of the events or your moods and emotions from the beginning of April, and more specifically from around the 12th of April, when happened the big, important, magical conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. And here, of course, we can say it's a very optimistic day. It's a day that gives a lot of joy and chances for you, so don't miss them. 27 degree of Pisces most probably falls into your 6th house, so we're talking about directing this luck and possibilities, optimism, popularity you might gain as well into your work and as well into your health, because 6th house is about our daily routines, our daily regime, how we sleep, how much we eat, how we nourish ourselves. So it can be really beneficial for you to maybe do some examinations and research about your health. Think about how can you make your everyday life more pleasant, nicer, better for you. Maybe examine your work-life balance overall. Of course, at work, there can be some large projects to do, and it can bring you as well large remuneration. So good income for you, Libras. As well, 6th house is about, it's not an easy area of our natal chart. It talks about our problems and how we deal with them, how we solve issues, and how we take care of stuff and other people, whether it's, let's say, our parents, or how do we repair our house or our car. So in this case, either your responsibilities might be extremely pleasant. For example, you become a mom, a parent, so you start taking care of a baby, but that's, of course, that's very joyful care. Or let's say, or you might meet someone who will be more than willing to help you out with your current problems. On the 2nd of May, your ruler, Venus, goes into Aries. That's a detriment position for your planet because it's about your partners, in fact. So while your partners, because Venus goes into your 7th house, so they might become a bit more diplomatic and soft and self-indulging, perhaps even. But with Venus in 7th house, there is a lot of pleasure in interaction with others, communication, romantic moments with your partners can be very nicely lucrative and financially beneficial for you, contracts and deals to strike. But at the same time, you very interestingly become, for about a month, a bit more Aryan, like Aries, more passionate, more fiery, more assertive. So maybe this kind of switch of roles with your partner will happen now. On the 11th, Jupiter as well joins Venus in Aries, as thus going into your 7th house, which talks about expansion, widening of your contacts, your communication with others, relationships. For some, of course, it might be coming into your life of your special significant other, especially for women. Jupiter often signifies a husband. It might be that you will travel together with your partners. Jupiter can bring very good opportunities for business, good counselors, advisors, especially regarding legal matters. So that could be a lawyer, for example, or a teacher. who helped you out with your thesis, if you are, let's say, finishing some university degree. And of course, Venus and Jupiter in the 7th house is beautiful, really, for love, for relationships. Maybe you'll receive some nice presents. Overall, there is this feeling of happiness and satisfaction in the relationship department. On the 10th of May, Mercury stops as if its movement at 4 degrees of Gemini and turns retrograde. So it goes as if backwards from our perspective till the 3rd of June, when again it stations to turn direct at 26th degree of Taurus. That's your 8th house. So those 2 dates you can remember, the 10th of May and the 3rd of June, because then these 2 days are really not good for planning trips, for traveling, for taking exams, or subscribing for an education, for publishing something, for becoming public figure, or out there in the space, in the public space. Neither they're good for some financial institutions or financial dealings with financial institutions, or dealing with your budget or taxes, or asking for a loan. While Mercury will be going retrograde first through your 9th house, he might return you back to some unfinished education, some exams that you should present yourself second time, possibly to get and finish your degree. If we talk about traveling, then Mercury might incite you to travel back to some familiar already places. Of course, it can be meeting some old teacher, some old guru, some expert from the past that you fully trusted and relied on. Then on the 23rd, Mercury proceeds retrograding back into your 8th house, so turning you back towards maybe re-evaluating your family budget. Again, you can apply for a loan, you can finish some paperwork, or dealing with tax institutions, or maybe they will call you that you actually owe them something from the past. You might rethink, reassess some contracts that are concerning your or your family's finances. As well, because 8th house is about personal relationships and intimate ones. So maybe some old partner might come back into your life. Sometimes people get excited and happy about it, but it might just last for the period that Mercury is retrograde. So people can solve whatever is left to be solved in their relationships, and then just let go of the past. On the 13th, Sun conjuncts Rahu, the North Karmic lunar node, at 22 degrees of Taurus. And you see that is your 8th house. So, of course, Sun illuminates these matters of shared finances, passive income, intimate relationships, pregnancy matters. 8th house is about life and death situation. It's about hospitals. So, by the way, 3rd of June is also a date rather to be avoided for operations and interventions. But on the 13th, it's a great day, because Rahu, it's a karmic energy talking about our future. Rahu talks about our personal and collective development, and in this case, it really it can indicate some important messages that show you kind of the future in your financial area or in your love life, to whom you can trust possibly. There might be news about these topics. It might be as well concerning pregnancy for some of you. On the 16th, we have a full total lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Scorpio with the participation of Ketu, the south karmic lunar node. And Scorpio is your second house of your natal chart. So lunar eclipses are very powerful full moons. They usually talk about culmination of something, when we see something more clearly and we end and terminate and release and let go of stuff. Plus here Ketu, the south node, also talks about the past and about leaving something behind. Now, second house is about your finances, your work. So maybe destiny will return you to some unfinished old work project, or you will look back and see suddenly your old forgotten skills and resources that you can very well apply into your life now and be proud of and even earn something from that. Maybe you will be quitting your current job. Remember, everything that happens during eclipse seasons is actually for your own sake. It's for the best. It's important just not to panic, not to stress, not to act impulsively or emotionally, and just go with the flow. So maybe either some old source of income will reappear in your life, or you will conclude some work project. Maybe because second house is about our possessions, so it's possible that you receive some second-hand clothes or furniture, something for your home, or you start buying antiques, something old from the past. Maybe you receive some objects like this from as your inheritance, for example. And last but not least, second house talks about our bodies and how do we nurture and care for our well-being, physical well-being. So possibly you finish some diet, or you go back to some exercises or some nutrition plan. On the 18th, Mars conjuncts Neptune at 25th degree of Pisces. That's your sixth house, once again, like the beginning of the month, and like 12th of April. We talk about energy and hopes, things to achieve in your work, as well as in your health. Mars in sixth house is very good for exercises. In here, I would recommend swimming. Mars plus Neptune. Be careful with your health now around the 18th, because there might be fatigue, there might be overworking, or there might be catching some cold or flu. So it's better, of course, to take care of your immune and stimulate your immune system as well, because Mars represents your partners. So on this day, they might be a little bit more nostalgic, or they might catch some cold or flu. So it's good to help them take care of their well-being and health. Of course, it might mean also that your partners on this day are especially emotional and romantic. On the 21st, Sun goes into Gemini, entering thus into your ninth house of education, of how do you perceive the world, your moral code, your values, your belief system. And of course, it can be about traveling, it can be about researching, publishing, documentation, especially if it concerns some legal matters and court trials. So the attention will be there for about a month. On the 25th, Mars goes into Aries, and so your partners regain their usual spirit and mood and energy of pushing forward, maybe even a little bit more aggressive. And because this Mars goes into your seventh house, it really might mean that there are more sparks happening in your relationship. It's good to kind of be assertive and claim what you want. But of course, this month can be also can lead to some conflicts, let's say, with either personal or business partners. On the 27th, your ruler Venus makes a square to Pluto. It's a tough day for all of us because Pluto represents often like a ball of condensed energy and tension. It's about bursting out at some point eventually. Usually it's about something we swept under the carpet, some truth, usually unpleasant one. It might concern your family, your household, your home, your past, and your partners, really. There might be some power struggles, control issue. Maybe finally on the surface will come your true feelings or of your partner. So they might suddenly tell you everything they were withholding until now. Of course, it might be also some tension regarding property and finances, home finances. Or there might be a clash between your parents and partner, for example. On the 28th, the tension goes a little bit away because your ruler Venus goes into its other favorite sign, Taurus. So thus your planet becomes nicely happy, and you feel a bit more Taurian, like Tauruses. So I would say more grounded and more hedonistic. So like, you know, in the mood of pampering yourself. Your attention might be turned this month towards finances. I mean, since Venus enters Taurus, so like a month after, it's going to be activating your area of shared resources, shared finances, and your intimate relationships. And that's kind of, you know, Venus is very sensual in Taurus. So it's good to reignite maybe a passion with your current partner. Eighth house can talk about your common finances, your partner's income might be nicely influenced here. And of course, if you are passing through some a bit more difficult situations, life crises, because eighth house, it's about this as well, some fears, some psychological problems, then Venus will help you, assist you with that as well to get through this period more easily. Maybe there will be some women who could help you, let's say a psychologist or astrologer with whom you can talk these issues out. 29th is an interesting day because Mars conjuncts Jupiter, that's your 7th house. They conjunct at 3 degrees of Aries. So on one hand, your partners might be super happy, very optimistic, very attracting others like a magnet, like larger than life, very generous. That would be the very positive outcome of this energy. On the negative side, it's like aggression without limitations, without boundaries and borders. So be aware of those possibilities towards the end of the month. And on the 30th, we have a new moon at 9 degrees of Gemini, and that's your 9th house. So possibilities for new beginnings regarding your education, new places to explore, new philosophies to explore. Maybe you meet people from different cultures, creating nice friends, but also kind of changing your perspective on the world. You might meet some gurus, like people who are very recognized and important for you, some stars maybe, or you have the chance to become popular. This new moon is also important because it's the first non-eclipse lunation that we have after these two eclipses one was at the end of April, the second one on the 16th of May. So it was the so-called spring period of eclipses. Overall, the dense energy, the chaotic vertex of fated events was with us for about a month and a half. And now with this new moon already, it's kind of a watershed, I believe it's called, when you clearly see the difference of events and energies, and everything calms down a little bit and life gets into its normal course of running. And so this how May looks like for you, dear Libra. Thank you very much for watching, sharing, liking this video, and subscribing to my channel. I wish you a truly beautiful and positive May. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.